At the time of recording, it looks like United have more or less closed the deal for Patrick DORGU on the left midfield or left wing back, whatever you want to call it, and are negotiating for Matthias TEL from Bayern Munich on loan. We need additions to the squad. I'm grateful for that. I don't know anything about either of the players other than their positions and maybe their profiles a bit. From my understanding, Patrick DORGU, they're both very young players. DORGU 20, TEL 19. DORGU would be a permanent signing, 30 million euros apparently. From Lecce, he was struggling in Serie A. This is the kind of signing we have been calling for, in terms of signing them before they break out and become 60-70 million pounds. It's an affordable signing, it's the right age. Again, if the profile seems to be what we need, so I'm here for that. From my understanding, strong, very quick, very good at in the attacking areas, and we need, from those wing backs, we need guys that can progress the ball. Even in the defense, we need more that can progress the ball. We've got Lisandro Martinez, who's very good at progressing the ball, but other than that, we're a bit weak in that area. Maybe that's something Euro will come to develop as part of his game, but our build-up play is very bad, largely because we don't have people in the first and second third who can progress the ball, least of all in the wide areas. So it seems like that's the exact type of signing we need. The monies involved seem good as well. Apparently 35 grand a week. That's the type of salary, type of wage that we should be putting players on until, especially at that age, until they prove, you know, let them work for that second and third contracts, for those second and third contracts. Matthias TEL would be a loan. Again, I've only seen him a couple times playing for Bayern, and he's come off the bench maybe one or two of those. Yeah, only a few times. Young player. Again, the profile, from my understanding, is a quick guy, got a good touch, got some skill, can play in the wide areas, very direct. Maybe what we wanted out of a young Marcus Rashford, or maybe what he was when he was young. I hope he doesn't run down blind alleys. I've heard nothing about that. I've heard that he's got good game intelligence. Again, I've only seen him a few times, maybe 5 times on the odd occasion, and some of those have been substitute appearances, so I can't say firsthand what my view of him as a player is. But in regards to the role, we definitely need someone like that. He sounds like he can play number 9 for us, someone that can get hold of the ball, control it, bring others into play, running behind. These are things that we don't have currently with the strike force that we have at the moment, which is the worst I've ever seen in, I've said before, the worst I've ever seen in my time supporting Man United. I've been watching United for over 30 years. The strike force we have now is the worst I've seen by far. They've got nothing really at the moment, but I don't want to compare to that low of a level. Can he score goals for us, make runs in behind, bring others into play, create space, stretch the defenders that he comes up against, help us go up the pitch because he's pulling defenders back? So from my understanding, he does bring those qualities, so that would be a good addition. And if he is really a top player, hopefully we can put an option to buy for a decent fee in there. So content with that. I'm surprised, to be fair. I did think that we probably wouldn't get any signings in, and if we did, it would be maximum 1 and probably on loan. So the Patrick DORGU one is it's a pleasant surprise. But it doesn't change my view on the ownership of this club. I just feel that within football, the football sphere at the moment, there's just a real focus on transfers. Are the board backing the manager? And by backing, people define that as Are they throwing money at signings? A good board isn't just defined by transfers and incomings and how much you spend. We've seen that at United. We've spent a lot of money callously, and we've had the worst owners because of the negligence, because of how callous they are, and the fact that they've bled the club dry, sucked the lifeblood out of the club. And from the biggest club in the world, the #1 in terms of turnover, so the richest, we're now £1 billion in debt. That's the definition of bad ownership. Now, any person who would agree to collude with that type of ownership, i.e. Jim Ratcliffe and Ineos, to me, you're a bad owner too, in the sense that if you couldn't afford to buy them out completely, don't get involved. And then again, you have got involved in it. If you can't afford or aren't willing to pay off the debts on this club, then don't get involved. My thinking is that the thought process I've had regarding Jim Ratcliffe and Ineos and this whole situation that we're in regarding our finances is that, as a Manchester United supporter for the past 30 plus years, and others that go way beyond that, and even those that have come after, we've all contributed to building this club into being the biggest club in the world, the richest club, the highest turnover. We all contributed to that already. We cannot be made to be the ones to pay for the mistakes of the past 20 years. We cannot be made to be the ones who are now on the hook for building back up this club by extra ticket fees, staff redundancies, taking away concessions on those tickets, increased season tickets, which I see coming. I really see that coming. The work that they've done, taking all the damage they've done, taking away the foundation, taking away ambassador wages and salaries, etc, etc, etc. We shouldn't be the ones paying for that. It should be you. We put in already, and we continue to put in. Why should we pay more for the damage and for the ill behavior, the poor behavior, the negligence of the past 20 years of the Glazers, and now, by association, Ineos? So it doesn't mean that we should stop focusing on the ownership. We should take the foot off the gas just because they've made a couple of January signings, one of which is a loan anyway. What I see in the football sphere among fans is this whole focus on new signings, like it's like a new toy syndrome. Everybody gets so excited by a new toy, new signings, new. 9 times out of 10, most people haven't watched these guys play, so you don't even know if it's a good player that we're bringing in. On top of that, some people go and watch compilations. Now, with how bad Anthony has been for United over the past 2.5 years, I guarantee there are editors out there who can create 5 minutes compilations showing Anthony to be a world beater. You cannot see in 5 or 10 minutes the quality of a footballer. Compilations to me are a waste of time. I never watch them. I rarely get excited about new signings unless I know the player myself, and I've seen them play over a period of time, and I know that's a good player, he fits. If it's someone I don't know, I'm just on a wait and see thing. Okay, good, we signed someone. Is he the profile that we need? Check. If not, then the Mason Mount one, I'll use that as an example of, is this a profile we need? And for me, it wasn't the profile we needed. At the time we played attacking midfield, we have Bruno Fernandes that played that position, and even Christian Eriksen who could have filled in. I think someone else was there as well that could play number 10 at the time. So I was never sure about Mason Mount as a signing. I also wasn't sure about the fee, given that he had just a year left on his contract, and we're paying 55 million or whatever it was. And also the last couple of years at Chelsea, he was a bit injury prone, so I wasn't sure about that because I knew the player specifically. I can't remember the last time I was really excited about a new signing. I really can't remember. Jeez Louise. I think Pogba. Really excited about him because I'd seen him play kind of a long, 8-9 years now, but I'd seen him play with my own eyes over a period of time. It was the profile we needed. To my mind, and in my opinion, he worked out at United. He didn't reach the very heights that we thought he would, or would like him to have, but it was a successful signing. Letting him go for free is another matter, but hey. So I say all that to say there's a real kind of clamour for new signings, new toys, excitement. But I just feel like sometimes, let's just calm down. Let's just wait and see. This doesn't make Ineos great owners. Oh, they've signed some players. It doesn't necessarily mean that alone means that they've backed the manager. It is evidence, or does support that. It could support that it backs the manager, but it isn't alone enough to say they're backing the manager, see? Because we don't know the circumstances of the signing, the context of the signings, whether he was involved, whether they just put these players on him. So you can't just say, oh, they're definitely backing him. On the other hand, they might be backing him, and this could be evidence of that. Because if it is a situation where he was involved and he initiated these things, and he was fully involved in conversations, and to be honest, I'm leaning that way anyway, with regards to what he's taken into consideration, what he did say he would be involved in transfers and so on and so forth. So I'm content and happy that we're looking at bringing in 2 new players. If TEL works out, hopefully there's an option to buy. In case he does work out, we can just initiate that or trigger that. But this doesn't mean that we all of a sudden Ineos are great new owners and everything's rosy, because there's so much more to ownerships of football clubs. There's so much more to it. Are you putting in the right infrastructure? Are you making sure that you're backing the manager in terms of setting the right culture? Are you aligned with the management of the club and the coaching side of things? The financial situation of the club, you're taking care of that. Now, many might say check in all of those situations, but one of the final points I'm going to make is, how are you doing these things? Are you cheating the fans? How are you treating the fans? Are you cheating us? Are you disrespecting us? How are you upholding the image and the reputation and the name of the club and the traditions and the culture and what it means? Do you understand that? And on those final parts that are somewhat intangible, there are intangibles in it, but there are some tangibles there too as well, regarding the treatment of fans and so on. In any case, those final parts are massively important to me, massively important. I think they should not be overlooked. In any case, I'll finish this on a lighter note and say hopefully these guys do really well. Patrick DORGU, hopefully he's a great player for Man United and has a long, successful career with us. And I'm really hopeful about TEL. I think attacking-wise, we struggle really badly. And hopefully he is the guy that will help us in the striking department, get some goals. I mean, the combination of both signings really do help us on an attacking front, in any case, in terms of our build-up, progressing the ball, keeping the ball, and it helps us move up the pitch in terms of our positioning. Our defensive line can now push up, because hopefully if TEL does what I think he does do, he'll be stretching the defenses that he comes up against and forcing them back and holding on to the ball a lot better. So yeah, I'm pleased and I'm looking forward to the near future. Let's see if we can get them registered for the weekend's games. Peace.